Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I am here today trying to do a little bit of work on our winter journal that I'm doing, and I'm at a point where I need to make things to go in it. So the journal is actually done. We did the cover. I'm probably going to do more to the cover, but I haven't done that yet. I'm going to wait kind of until I'm completely done with the journal, and then add little extras here and there to kind of make it a surprise. Anyway, right now I want to try something. At Christmas time bought a bunch of Distress Oxide spray with a gift certificate that I got, and I have had Distress Oxide ink pads, but I haven't really used the sprays, and I really love the pads. So I thought, well, the sprays might be really fun, and I've seen people use them, and I thought, well, I think I'm going to try that because I think it would be a lot of fun. Anyway, I am going to try and make some backgrounds for some tags, and I won't use all of this in one journal, but I thought I'll just have fun and we can play with that. And then I'm hoping I get to the point where I get to decorate some. We shall see. Okay, first off, I am going to be using different papers here. These are watercolor paper. This is just some leftover scrap paper. This is just some scrapbook paper in darker colors. So I'm going to try using different things just to see what I come up with. So I've got those over here, and I have a bunch of different colors, and as I also have Distress Spray Stain, and it reacts differently than the oxides, and I want the difference, so I'm going to use that. I'm also going to be doing some embossing, so I'll be using this embossing dabber and some Versamark and some clear embossing powder and maybe some white. I haven't really decided yet. It's just going to be kind of a we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to get started, and I'll just kind of explain things as I go because that'll make it a little faster. I will be using some stamps, and I do have several stamps. I don't know where I got them. I've had them a long time, and they're basically just different snowflakes. So I just want to try kind of a resist, so I'm going to use those. I have some stencils I might use as well, and I'm going to try those. And again, I don't even know where I got some of these, so I thought I would try some. And then I kind of made my own stencils. I was cutting out a bunch of snowflakes to use for tags. And, of course, when you do that, you get the negative side. So I thought this would be kind of cool to use too. So anyway, I have different techniques that I want to try. I've never tried them before. So you're going to be kind of learning with me. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of start this process. So let's see here. First off, what I'd like to do is I would like to try using these dark colors. This is kind of a dark, I would say navy blue, and I'm going to try that. One thing I am going to do is I have some mixed media paper here, and while I'm doing this, I am going to take this and kind of put it underneath it for the overspray. I may use my box. Let me try and see if it'll fit in there. That way I don't get spray everywhere. And I'm going to try that. Okay, and that's how I'm gonna do it. I want the overspray to go on here so I can have little pieces that I can use, And then I'm going to use this box. This is just a really big shoe box that I can, you know, put on my desk so it doesn't spray everywhere. I'm hoping I can tilt it. I hope you guys can see that. So let me see how it looks in there. Yeah, I think you can see it pretty good. Okay, so first off though, before I spray anything on there, I want to do some embossing. So I am going to take just a few of these stamps, and honestly I have no idea. I might use my little thing here. Let me get it. Hold on. It's kind of out of my reach. I may just use this, make it nice and easy, and go ahead, and I just want to try and do kind of a resist. Now this doesn't do the whole thing. Let's see, can I go that way? Yeah, that would get more of it. Okay, so we're going to do that, and I think what I'm going to do, go this way, is go ahead and arrange my stamps on there. I think last time my stamps wouldn't stick, so I had to use a glue stick, and I don't think I ever took the glue stick off of there. That always happens to me where my stamps don't stick after about the first or second time. Okay, so I do want some coming kind of low, so I'm going to have to put some here. I'll probably open up this other pack too, because these are all kind of large, and I want some that'll be a little small ones in there too. Anyway, whenever my stamps don't stick, I always use glue stick, and it works well. So I don't know if I like that one. I'm going to put one more large one in there, and then see if I can add some others. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember when I got these. It doesn't really say anything on there. Yeah, I've collected things for a long time, and I really just started doing videos a year ago, so I don't always know where I get things. If I do, I'll let you know. Alright, so I can put some of these others in there. Let's see here. I want a smaller one right there. And pull that off of there. I'm just gonna do, let's see how I want this. Maybe about right like that would be good. And this is just going to be a background, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you're not really going to see. It's kind of be blended into the background. Okay, that's probably going to be good enough. We don't want that to dry. Let me get my paper over here. I'm going to put that back in here, and I'll deal with it later. Okay, so now let me get this out, and hopefully this is still wet enough that it'll work. And this is just a clear embossing powder. Now this is not the thick, it's the fine, because you want it to pick up the detail. So I didn't say, I hope you guys are doing well. Got a couple little spots there I need to get off of there. I just have a little brush. Yeah. Yeah, okay. There we go. And I don't care if there's a few little spots here and there. I just want the, because like I said, this is going to be kind of a background. So there we go. That'll be good. This one did not turn out well, but that's all right. It's probably going to be covered anyway. This one's, it's that same stamp. So, okay. So anyway, that's probably going to be good enough for what we're going to do. Then I'm going to go ahead and put this back in, because we will be using it some more. And I'm using a dark color because I really want to try that out with the Distress Oxides. I think that's one of the cool things about them, is that you can use it with dark colors. So, oh wait, we've got to heat emboss this. Let me get my heat gun out. It's right over here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and heat this. I don't know what that is. Okay, so now what I want to do with this is I want to go ahead and let me get my box out. I'm going to just spray it with different Distress Oxides, okay? So, and not the Distress Stain, just the Distressed Oxides. Let me think. I think I'm going to use Salty Ocean and shake it up really good. And Faded Jeans. Let's see, what other color do I want to use first? I'm trying to get enough of the difference. And then maybe, let me see, do I want Broken China or do I want, I think I'll try Broken China first because it's a little bit darker than the other one. And there's just, you know, there's not a lot of difference, but, and you do have to shake them up good before you use them if you don't have these. And, okay. All right, so let me just try my little spray bottle thing here. And I have no idea what, I'm just going to put a few. Oh, that looks so cool already, doesn't it? Okay. Yeah, and that almost has like a purple color to it. Oh, wow. I'm already liking it. Okay, so then This is Salty Ocean. Oh yeah, that's cool. Really cool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit a little bit, but I want to take, I made some kind of pearlized water. And all this is water. And I used this LA Colors shimmer powder. It's just a mica powder. I buy that from the dollar store. I use it to make my alcohol shimmer. But this is just water and shimmer powder, and I put a little bit of hairspray in there for a fixative. And you can use plain water, but I'm using this just to add shimmer to it. So I want to see. I want it to react, because this kind of blends it all together. And of course you can just use regular water. You don't have to do this. Okay, so that's going to kind of blend it together. And I think I'm going to take it out. And it's going to have its little reaction. Where'd my heat gun go again? And I think what I'm going to do, and I like those little blotches in there. Now here's the, well, maybe I'll use my my hair dryer so it doesn't get quite as hot. I don't want to reactivate the embossing powder is the deal. So let's try this. And I just want to dry it a little bit. And I think what I might do, and turn that off for a second, I may take, this is a dryer sheet, and I'm using these to blotch things up because I like how it looks after. So I'm going to go like that. I think I want to do that and get some of the big blotches off of there. Do that and kind of blend them a little bit. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay. So now I'm going to do this for a second. All right, that's perfect, guys. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It's already dry. Now you could add more color on this. And I'm thinking about doing something else to this, but I think I'm going to leave this one alone because it's really cool. I hope you can see it. You know, as it dries, it gets all muddled together, and to me it kind of looks like falling snow. So I think that's going to make a great background. So I am going to put that one aside, and I'm going to do something similar to this, but I'm going to try something else with it too. So I left my little thing here, so I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know, should I try this? Is that the same color? What color did I use last time? I used that. Okay, so maybe I'm going to use this color. I think I'm going to use this one. This one's a little bit lighter. And I'm going to do something a little different. Good, I like that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What's going to happen on this, it is going to pick up color. The white's going to pick up color, and that's okay because that's kind of what I want. So let's try that. Okay, so I know that the snowflakes are not perfect and they're overlapping, but I like that. I think that's going to really add to this. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take my little box out. And remember, we had our paper under there. I'm still going to leave that there. And I'm just going to add more color to it. Okay, so now that I have that, I am going to use, I'm going to try maybe some different colors this time. I have peacock feathers, tumbled glass, and speckled egg. And the speckled egg is more of a green color. I may not use that. I don't know. Well, actually, it's kind of a grayish color. So let's try those. See how they look. Okay. Oh yeah, that's cool. And so what's going to happen is the white is going to pick up quite a bit of color, more so than the clear did. So it will be kind of in the background. And then all right, now I am going to take a little bit of my Distress Spray stain, and this is a white, okay, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of that on there. All right, because I want it to look a little bit more like snow. And that's going to cause it to have a different reaction than just water. Okay, I really like how that's kind of coming together. Great. I like it because it looks very snowy in the background. A lot of different little spots. I think that's perfect. Okay, so that one I'm going to dry, and I think it's done. I think it'll be done. So, and here, well, I've got to use I'm using the hair dryer just because I don't want to reactivate my embossing. Okay, this is not all the way done, but it is almost, and I'm going to let it dry on it by itself while we're doing some other things. So, yeah, that's cool. And because the stain works differently than the oxide spray, you can see it's kind of reacting differently, and it's giving it more of that. To me, it looks like just snow just coming, and that's why I think I love the snowflakes just on top of each other, because I think that's kind of a cool look. So I'm going to let that dry. So my next thing I want to do is I want to take just some white. This is the mixed media paper, and I want to try just doing some different things with that and using a combination of my Distress Oxide spray and stains, and just see how that turns out. So I'm going to take my trusty little box. And now what I'm going to do with this, though, is a little different. I am going to pre-wet this is mixed media paper. So I'm going to pre-wet it with my my mica powder water, my pearlized water or whatever, just to get it wet. You could just use regular water, and that will allow me to put this over here, and I'll deal with it later. That will allow me to add color to it, and it'll react immediately. So I am going to try some of my other colors again, and this one is Faded Jeans, and let's see, maybe I'll mix this up with that Tumble Glass, And then, I don't know, I'm not sure. I may try the speckled eggs again. It's kind of an interesting mix with that. Okay, I may just use 2. Let's see. Tumble glass, let's see. Those are too close, I think. Okay, so let's try this. And then I'm going to add some of the stains to it too. So, oh, it's leaking on my hand. Let me get some paper towels here. I guess that top wasn't on all the way. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. So, I'm going to do that. And then let me try some speckled egg and see how that looks. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I really do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my Distress Spray Stain, and this is in brushed pewter, and I'm going to add it to this. I do think I'm going to add just a little bit more of this water to it and see how it reacts first, though. See how that reacts. Yeah, it's mixing a little bit more. Cool. Okay, so now I'm going to take, you know what, actually I think I'm going to add more color to it. I'm going to add some Salty Ocean and see what happens. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I want a little bit more color on there. Okay, so now we have that in there and it's kind of mixing. And I think what I'm going to do is just go like this and just kind of blot it a little bit, because I do want these to kind of mix more. I don't want the speckled look that we had on the other ones. I want a different look. Okay, I'm loving that. All right, good. Now I am going to take my brushed pewter stain, oh yeah, love it. Now see, that is going to actually have a different effect than just the Distress Oxide by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Hopefully don't get my fingers all over it. Okay, it's dripping a little bit, but I like that. And that is just a completely different look than the other ones. And I am going to use, since I don't have any embossing on that, I think what I'm going to do, where'd my little thing go? I don't know where it went to. I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to just do this. Okay, so now that we've done that, I don't know, I may want to add another color to that. I think I might want to add another color. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and add, you know, and I think I'm not even going to do it on that. I think I'm going to take a larger piece like this and just put that there. And I'm going to take, I used Salty Ocean and I've used this. I think I'm going to use Faded Jeans again. And I'm going to put a little bit of that on top of this and see what happens. Make it a little bit darker. I want to see how that's going to look. Just to give it a little more something. Okay. All right, let's see here. think what I want to do with that is I'm going to wipe up some of these little speckles so they're not so prominent. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the white and I'm just going to do this all over it. I actually would like them smaller than that. There we go, that's better. All right, I think I'll actually want more. And then I think I'm going to spray it a little bit. There we go. That is it, a snowstorm. All right, now I think, I don't know if I want to reactivate it or not. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, that's perfect. Alrighty, and that started out as white, so we've come a long way on that. Let's see, time-wise, I'm going to do one more background, and then I will show you guys in the end a few tags that I've made. Let me think, what do I want to do that's different? I have these stencils, and I think I kind of want to overlap them a little bit. I think I have another one in there. Let's see, I have several. Just kind of, I guess I'll just put them on one at a time and then go back in. And I'm just going to use glue or matte gel as kind of a resist. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I think it might. Let's see. So I'm kind of just going to go over this. And I'm not doing this to be just like one tag. My idea is that I will be able to cut this up in pieces. And so I'm going to do that. Okay, and I'm not putting it on overly thick because I want it to dry fairly quickly, and this is really going to just be a background. So I did that. Oh, that turned out good. See? And let me try. I got these thinking of which ones would look like a snowflake. So, and I will see if I can find where I got these. I didn't get these that long ago, and I'll link them. All right, so this is my paper, and then I'm just going to dry it. All right. Okay, so this is, I hope you can see that. This is just using matte medium. You could use, you know, a thicker glue. You wouldn't want to use anything too watery because it wouldn't work with your stencil probably well. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my color on top of this. So I'm going to use my box for this because we will be spraying a lot. I think I'm going to turn my paper over. I'm probably going to not really be getting much on it. So, okay, so I think on this one, I want to use, this is Antique Bronze Distress Spray and Tarnished Brass. And I'm going to use, where'd my green colors go? I have a green, this is kind of a peel paint. Where'd my other color go that I was going to use? Did I already use it? Okay, here we go. I don't know And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and use my speckled egg, because it has kind of a greenish tint to it. And I just want to see how those work with this. Okay, so I am going to go ahead, let's see which ones. I'm trying to decide which one I want to use first. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my paper a little, not too much, because it will reactivate the glue. And again, I'm using that mica pearlized water that I made. Okay. And then what I think I'm going to do is take my speckled egg and try that. And it is kind of a grayish, I don't know, green color. And now I'm going to try my peeled paint. I don't have that open. Interesting. So I'm using my peeled paint. Okay, so let's try that. Oh yeah, very green. But that's kind of cool. All right. So now that's activating with all of that. And now I'm going to try and use part of my stains. So I think I'm going to try my antique bronze and see how that looks. Oh, that's cool. And then maybe my tarnished brass. There's a subtle difference between those two. And now I'm going to try my brushed pewter, which I would imagine is going to be a lot different with this. And that makes it a little bit lighter again. So I think I'm just going to kind of let that sit a little bit and then see what happens. I wanted more of a greenish tone to it, so that to do something different for a different background. So I think that's good. A little bit more blue in it, but I don't know, tumbled glass maybe, or I don't want it too dark. I wonder if I use broken china, or I'll use peacock feathers. Let's see what happens. I hope that's not too much of a contrast, but we will find out. Oh, it's a contrast, all right. There we go. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so now, since we use the stains and the oxides, these are all kind of muddling around. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of this because I want it to kind of be more muddled instead of spots. Pull that out, and it's still kind of muddling all together, so I'm going to take that out. All right. So that is really cool. I like that. Just do that a little bit, just a little bit. And it's hard to tell, I think, but all of these are all, you know, they're not just brown, they're kind of a metallic. So I don't know if you can tell it just by looking at it, but it does have kind of a metallic look to it. So I think, let's dry that real quick and see what it looks like. What it looks like is really cool looking. So that is a completely different look, and I really love that, using the matte gel as a resist. Look how easy that was, and it just adds so much texture. Anyway, that's that one. And I'll put that up here. It's not completely dry. And then here's our one that we did that was very easy to do, that could be easily used. It looks like falling snow, I think. I think that is really easy and fun to do. This is the one that we did with the white embossing powder and the speckling on there with the white. And that's where I used the white just stain on top. And then that's the reaction that it had with the Distress Oxide. And then this is the first one we did, and that is with the darker color, and it had several colors on there. So anyway, those are the 4 backgrounds, and I will show you what the tags look like. Okay, I wanted to show you guys what we ended up with. I made a total of 5 tags out of what we did. This is the last one we did, and that was with the greens and a little bit of blue, the turquoise blue, and that is where we used the matte medium as a resist. So there's like a big snowflake back there, and we've got our bear, and these are some die cuts that just have some trees behind it. So there's one. Here is one made with when we use the darker blues, and this is where we use the clear embossing. And then I just put some snowflake die cuts that were kind of a navy blue on top of it. And this is some sort of winter bird. I don't know what kind, but it is. It had a little blue on it, so I thought that would work well. I was trying to not make these too, you know, shiny and glittery and stuff like that, because I'm trying to make it more of a rustic type journal. So I had to really refrain from bling and things like that, which was hard. Okay. This one is a bunny rabbit, and I love it. This is the one where we put the white on afterwards, and it looks like snow falling. And so I think that turned out really, really cute. And there's a die cut here with some, different snowflakes. And then here I just have some ribbon. Okay, so this one is the one that we did, and was it on blue paper? Yeah, this started out with blue paper, and we put the white embossing on it, the snowflakes. And I went ahead, and this is some vellum that has snowflakes that I embossed on there, and then put a little bit of Salty Ocean, I believe. What was it? Let me see. It is, yeah, Salty Ocean. I put that on there, and I kind of put that on the ends. And these are just some die cuts that I put in the middle. So you've got the vellum here, and then I've got double snowflakes. I've got a blue that kind of goes with it, and then a white, and then I kind of just moved them back and forth across there, and just some ribbon on top. And then here is the same green that I did the bear with. The difference is this has a dryer sheet that has, I don't know if you can tell, but it has a little bit of the mica powder spray on it. And then there's a die cut here, and then this is just another, I don't remember what kind of winter birds they are, but there's another one. And just some lace on the bottom and on the top. So there they are. And you can see, the resist in the background. So it looks like a big snowflake. And here's the same piece of media paper that we used. I just did something different with it. Here's the blue one. Here is another blue. This is the one we did the white, and we didn't do any sort of embossing or anything. This was fairly easy, But you can see the background looks really fun. And then here's another one, and that's the one we did the clear embossing on. So that's it, guys. So I would say, it's really a great way to do a background. It adds for a lot of depth and texture and something very unique. I don't think you can achieve that very easily any other way. So, all right. So we will see you again next time on Tuesday. I'll probably still do my Fun Friday. But as far as what we're going to do on next Tuesday, it'll be another something that I have to get done and finished. A project that I already started, and I have no idea what it's going to be, and I'll let you know. All right, take care.